Let's go down to Washington, D.C. now, and we've got the former governor of the great state of New Mexico, Bill Richardson. Good morning to you, sir.
Very nice to be with you. By the way, I'm still governor. I got 7 months.
Did I say thank you? In 7 months, he's going to be former. Hey,
you thought you had the rest of the day free there for a second.
No kidding. Hey, let's have you weigh in on this. I know you're familiar. The president and the president of Mexico got together yesterday. They had the big state dinner, as you know, last night. And there they are on the south lawn of the White House. And you know what? It sounds like not only did the president of the United States kind of apologize for what Arizona came up with law-wise with the illegals, but he had this to say about it as well. Listen.
We also discussed the new law in Arizona, which is a misdirected effort, a misdirected expression of frustration over our broken immigration system, and which has raised concerns in both our countries.
Okay, and then Felipe Calderon went on to say that the law discriminates against Mexicans who are in Arizona. If you're illegally in Arizona, shouldn't you be discriminated against because you're breaking the law?
The president was simply saying that this is a bad law, that what we need is comprehensive immigration reform, a federal law. This is federal jurisdiction when you're dealing with illegal immigration. And you can't have local cops who do great work, who are very, very active in the community, take over what federal immigration officials, Border Patrol, National Guard, well, not National Guard, but Border Patrol might do. Right. This is a bad law. What we need is a comprehensive act by the Congress, which refuses to deal with this issue. I give credit to President Bush, who tried to do it 2 years ago, a comprehensive law that gets the borders tightened in terms of security, that has some kind of a legalization program, that cracks down on illegal hires. Right. That's what we need.
But, Governor, you know better than anybody, just from your background and what you do, that all you have to do is bolster the border, finish the wall, and that's something the federal government has already been authorized to do, and that's on the books. You don't need any massive reform.
Well, what we do need, and I'm a border governor, and I agree there, the one area that I agree with Governor Brewer is we need more security at the border. We need more boots on the ground. We need the National Guard there. We need Border Patrol. We need technology at the border. You know, I declared a border emergency several years ago. I added some National Guard recently because some of the killings that are coming in because of the drug cartels fighting each other. Right. No one disputes that we need more security at the border.
But Governor, isn't it disingenuous to have people in this administration who speak out about this bill, and it's all bad what they say about it, and yet then we find out that they haven't actually even read the 12-page bill? Isn't that disingenuous? And then also for the president yesterday to say, yeah, it's really up to the feds. Well, guess what? The feds aren't doing anything.
Well, the reason the feds aren't doing anything is the Congress refuses to act. The president has proposed immigration reform. President Bush did the same thing. Republican Congress, Democratic Congress, they're just holding back. What we need is comprehensive reform that does those three things. Cracks down on illegal hires, puts more resources on the border. And then third, you know, what are you going to do with the 11 million illegals that are in the United States?
Do you understand the frustration of Arizona? Do you understand the frustration of Arizona finally saying, we have to do something about this? We're second in the world in kidnappings, for God's sake.
I understand their frustration. We have this the same in New Mexico. But you don't take the matter into your own hands and pass a law that is going to racially profile people.
But you know, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say we racially profile. In fact, there's a provision in there not to do it. It's got the exact language. On top of that,
no, but look,
that you have to, Governor, you know that in this law it says you have to have a reason to detain someone, question someone. There has to be something wrong. They're doing something wrong. They can't just walk up to them as they're coming out of walking down the street and say, hey, kid with your ice cream, come over here. I need to see your papers.
No, but just let me ask you a question. Who do you think they're going to racially profile? Who do you think they're going to detain? It's probably somebody that looks like they came from Mexico or Hispanic. That's the issue.
Yeah, but
you can't just ask somebody for their papers. That's unconstitutional. You can't do that.
Right, but
a Hispanic American 30% of Arizona is Hispanic.
Sure.
Legally
Well,
there for generations.
I wouldn't mind being pulled over and asked for my driver's license. I mean, as long as I'm not doing anything wrong. I mean, here it is. This is my proof that I'm legally in this country. But let me ask you this, Governor. Have you had a chance to read the bill?
Yes, I've read the bill. I did read the bill, and I think it clearly is unconstitutional. It's racial profiling. It's a bad bill. I have read it.
Well, for you to continue to say that it has the potential to be racial profiling, I mean, that's a damning indictment of the law enforcement officers who are out there on the front lines. I mean, if they pull somebody over for blowing through a stop sign and then say, "Can I see your driver's license?" and they don't have a driver's license, and then they say, "Do you have any papers?" and they say, "I don't have anything," that's a problem.
Well, what I am criticizing is the Arizona legislature putting this very, very bad bill. In fact, I sympathize with the law enforcement officers, many of which are against this bill, because you're giving them an impossible task. Right. These are good law enforcement officers. Now you're making them immigration officers, asking people for their papers, and I believe racially profiling, which I think is wrong.
Right. Well, you were at the state dinner last night, I understand, Governor. How'd it go?
Yes. It was great. It was great. Beyonce was the entertainment.
Nice.
I think it showed the importance of the U.S.-Mexico relationship, because they've had just 2 state dinners, one for the Indian Prime Minister, where those, two people got in illegally, and now this one. And this one was great. I mean, the chemistry was great. A lot of fun, but also a lot of good policy.
And you had a ticket. You didn't gate crash?
No, I had a ticket.
And just out of curiosity,
I had an invitation.
What did they serve?
They had jicama, which is a Mexican fruit.
Right.
They had ceviche, which is a fish dish. They had a nice steak. It was great. It was a beautiful dinner.
That's fantastic, because we just heard a report that red meat is actually good for you now.
And Governor, it's a good thing you were invited, because maybe without you, Mr. President Obama is not President Obama. When you came out and endorsed him, that was a key moment. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Governor.
Nice to be with you guys.
Great to have you as well.